Say to yourself first thing in the morning, today I shall meet people who are meddling, ungrateful, aggressive, treacherous, malicious, and unsocial. All this has afflicted them through their ignorance of true good and evil. But I have seen the nature of good is what is right and the nature of evil is what is wrong. And I reflected that the nature of the offender himself is akin to my own, not a kinship of blood or seed, but a sharing in the same mind, the same fragment of divinity. Therefore, I cannot be harmed by any of them, as none will inflict me with their wrong, nor can I be angry with my own kinsman or hate him. We were born for cooperation, like feet, like hands, like eyelids, like the rows of upper and lower teeth. So, to work in opposition to one another is against nature, and anger or rejection is opposition to nature. This is the entry that Marcus Aurelius written in his journal. In the previous video, I mentioned that I am struggling with a bunch of negative emotions and how stoicism is helping me with all these situations. You see, from where I am living and as a full-time entrepreneur, people give me a really hard time on a daily basis. But reading the above narrated quote hit me like a bullet train. I also reflected recently how come that irrational beings who have no proper conscience of self, like animals, plants, birds and trees, are cooperating with each other, at least cooperating with their own fellow species. But we humans who have a rational thinking and a mind of our own can deceive, steal and hurt one another. Though Marcus mentions that this is the cause of their ignorance of true and evil, I still think that's not an excuse. I thought maybe I was wrong after reflecting even deeper. Marcus believed that evil and wicked are not just somehow bad people, they are simply a part of our universe. Asking the world not to present you with these people would be like asking a vine to exist without thorns. That would be ridiculous. There's simply nothing you can do. Marcus says bad people exist and in your life you will encounter them. Marcus believed in kindness, though he believed that people didn't ever want to do the wrong thing, but instead when people did the wrong thing, it was simply out of ignorance. You can try teach them these people for sure, but it's just not always going to be an option. So we can control if the universe sends us the immoral or the wicked or the lazy, and if we can also help these people, which usually we can't, we just have to put up with it. And to do this, Marcus says you should look inwards. He writes to himself, "Hey Marcus, you got faults too. Who are you to judge these people? Maybe you have different faults than these so-called bad people. But Marcus, you have your own faults. Nevertheless, in a different conversation on a different day, perhaps you, Marcus, would be the ignorant one. And Marcus, it's possible that you just don't understand." He told himself, hey, you can't even be sure that they are doing the wrong thing. The thief who steals to feed his family isn't wrong. You just don't understand. And often in life, you won't understand and you wouldn't know that you don't understand. So don't judge ultimately. Marcus believed that we are all born for each other, and he would remind himself this over and over again. He reminded himself that this is the natural order. Though it feels like people are rude, unwise and hurtful, that's not the whole picture. We only focus on these negative aspects because these negative emotions have a strong impact on our psyche than positive things. If you pay closer attention to things, you could find that all the positive influence people had in your life would outweigh all the negative influence people had or currently having in your life. Take your parents for example. They raised you, fed you, gave you home to stay, gave you proper clothing without expecting nothing in return. Even if you don't have parents, you are still taken care by your guardian or an organization led by private institution or government which is run by people. Have you noticed the pattern here? It's people and it's the community that have made us into a proper adults that we are today or making us into one. Without the support of the fellow humans, it would be extremely difficult for us to survive. Though the education institutes these days are messed up completely, we still learn some valuable skills and education that helps us to survive in this economy to at least some extent until we figure out something. You have friends who support you, stand by you, lend you their ears and hands for your problem. You see, we still face the cunning, aggressive and unjust people daily in our lives, but the positive impact of our fellow humans will always outweigh the unjust. Most of the time, like Marcus said, we just don't understand. And most of the time, we don't know that we actually don't understand. So I stopped completely having judgments over things. Though I have my own goals, desire and plan, I just don't judge the things that life throws at me, nor complain about the things that bothers, because the things might have its own explanation or reason to it. One we might not currently understand. So I think what we can do is just focus on the matter at hand and the things that need to be treated right now, and not expect the fruits of our labor, not expect the praise and social standings. So we should remind ourselves every day and on every situation when people does us bad, that just because of this ignorant man I shall not turn my back against my fellow people. Because at the end of the day, it's these people who helped us and helping us around in life.